Yeah, yeah, what's up? Time is about 10 p.m. I quickly had to take a break to make this video because I'm going back to work. I probably be pulling on all night for this one. So if you've been following me, I have been on a break for the past few days. I figured that I had rested enough, so I might as well use my Sunday to work. Because I enjoy the work. I enjoy that challenge. So I've been working since about 2 p.m. But before the work, what was I doing? I was basically like watching videos, entertainment, bouncing between social media and like consume. There's just curating, studying content, and all of that. And then I came across the concept that everybody, literally everybody that we look up to today, that we see as very great in society, they all did what is called try by error. That nobody has it figured out already. And it made perfect sense because I always go back to Steve Jobs' words when he said rather, that you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. So what that means is that in this game of business, faith plays a major role more than more than following the random business advice. And I think Naval said something. Naval and Gupta came about the concept of prescriptions. And then we live in a world where everybody wants everything in the how to step by step kind of guide. But in reality, that does not actually give massive success. It might help to start, it might help to give average results, but it does not make somebody stand apart. For someone to stand apart, the major thing he has to do is he has to follow his interest deeply. In summary, he has to be obsessed about the things that he is very, very authentic about. And which hammers on this point of creativity. We kind of like assume that creativity is this thing that strikes us when we're in the corner or something. But no, when you're in the present moment, when you let the ideas flow through you, when you get into that flow state, which I'll be dropping a video on very soon, you get to operate different. And Naval said something that sometimes some of the things that he says just come out of his mouth and they make sense after he has said them. So I think that's further evidence that in the flow states, we almost can never go wrong. Then I think this idea of try and error also came about the idea of tinkering, which is that if you have that idea of you have an idea you want to put out there, just be obsessed with it. You keep failing, you keep succeeding, but just keep going at it, and it makes perfect sense. God damn it! And then the irony is that when you see these people who, quote unquote, teach you how to, I'm referring to people, especially in the marketing space, most of them still don't get it. They're still looking for gimmicks here and there. Oh, place your buttons here. They work on the most advanced stuff and they neglect the real and simple stuff. So whenever I look at Steve Jobs videos and then I go back and forth on these videos, everything just begins to make sense over and over again. It's almost like Steve Jobs, and I had this argument with someone saying that you don't need to read 1,000 books. Steve Jobs did not read up to 1,000 books. However, however, he read just one book for most of his life. Every year, repeated the same book. But yet, he built a business that outperforms 99.9 of the businesses out there. 99.9 of the businesses out there, which is completely interesting. And yet, people still can't reverse engineer what he did because they are trying to think about it. But when you get into the ideas Steve Jobs was into, for example, Zen Buddhism, the ideas and teachings of being present in the moment, of tapping to spirit, that's easy. That is the easiest way to be creative. You see, and I kind of realized that. And when I was when I was studying today, I kind of realized that when people ask other people how they got successful and they get a response, most of the time, what they get are just highlights that the person can give to you at the current moment. But to get to that level of success, they needed to follow everything. That is, the small and the big steps has to be involved. But because they've forgotten all of those small steps and some major steps, their memory just tells them the most recent things that they were doing. Like, for example, is when people talk about meditation, for a while, I have not been meditating. At the same time, I have, because I have paused the idea of the sitting down cross-legged meditation. I have been more into, okay, I'm taking a walk. Why can't I meditate? I am waiting for a meal. Why can't I meditate? I am eating my food. Why can't I meditate? So meditation to me has gone beyond the point because this time around I have practiced, I have failed at it, and I've gotten better at it. And that's what he says. Tinker on it. Try and fail at it. And it's exactly what I'm doing with my social media content. And I think Steve Jobs also got into the idea because he says something like, if you're truly obsessed about a goal, you don't know how to get there, just keep going. At the early stage, you'll be like a fool. But guess what? Later in life, the fool becomes a master. There is nobody who is a master that was never a fool. But there are fools who remain fools because they did not make it intentional to get to the master level. I mean, and then also the idea of try and error will completely aid you in becoming anti-fragile. So what that means is that you're taking a risk no matter what. And if you fail, what's the worst that can happen? Because truly, most people don't get to realize that most of the time, if what you're working on currently fails, nothing drastic is actually going to happen. Nothing drastic is going to happen. But instead, we have this psychological fear that if you run out of money, potentially you could lose yourself in the process. But no, that's not reality. So a friend of mine sent me a video on the US financial system and how it's messed up right now. And with the fact that we are hoping the new president of America can just blow up the entire system. I think I'll go back and look at his reviews, but I'll see what comes about it. So I think today should be about day 5 of the protest. Like I said, the protest is completely peaceful, and I think By tomorrow, everybody will go on with their normal lives. The protest, I would say, I think the president addressed the nation today. Though I didn't watch it because I felt like I had more important things to do. Sometimes when I say things like this, people say I'm a little bit aggressive, cocky, not caring. I say, hey, I am just as affected as you are in this current economy. I am grateful that I can eat. Oh. One thing that I know for sure, what I super know for sure, is that I kind of like adjust to current realities. At the same time, look for ways to make more income, make more money. Because as bad as it sounds, majority of Nigerians are lazy. I don't say this to look down on anyone or to say I'm better than anyone, but the the irony is that the people who can react to this video are literally the minority. Most likely the ones who are not lazy. That's the irony of it. So if we have 200 million people, 120 million is the majority. 140 million is the majority. The irony is that it could shoot up to 180 million. Different reasons for this, but that's not a topic for today. So I firmly believe that my time is better spent being more productive. Yeah, so back to the whole, back to my study and my notes. So we can keep, we can either make conscious decisions to get better at our craft, or we let our craft die slow death in us. Also, the and like this idea of a perfect time is actually rubbish because the Peters says you're a beginner, you're a fool, you know nothing. Even though the perfect opportunity is right in your front, you will not know it. It made perfect sense because when people talk about, oh, this guy had the perfect time into the market, what they don't realize is he was already ready, and then the time came about. One, two. On the issue of creativity, I got this to see a video of Rick Rubin when he said ideas don't come out because somebody took action. Idea come around because that is the perfect time for that idea. And it makes sense to me. Because so what that means is the idea comes up. Whoever can take up on the idea has it for life. Will be the person to give birth to it. And the quickest way to give birth to that creativity or to that creative energy is if you're in tune with spirit constantly, once in a while, more often than not. I think I'll be going back to work shortly after this video. I just want to make sure that I put the video out there this night, and at least I keep my score moving carefully. So thank you very much. Hopefully I can create some videos tomorrow because I have like 20 videos that I need to release. So it just seems there's been a power outage. Well, I'm very grateful that my camera and lights are my camera and lights are on the backup power supply. So that's it. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon and bye for now.